Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Deadly Sin. In this episode, we're going to be continuing on. Let's see. Got one skill point. Also, when it comes to the monster nodes, don't be surprised if I give most of them to Devin. Because, his skills are really helpful. I'm gonna rule this place someday. Gosh, my little brother's so annoying. You beat him up for me, Levi. Well, that would be considered child abuse. What's new, Levi? I never see you around the neighborhood these days. How fortuitous that you showed up, Levi. Hey there, Ulrich. What's with the army detail? Nothing to worry about. Say, Levi, are you currently under army's orders? Technically, I'm not, but... We have a tip from a credible source that Seven's guard Snarltooth is in a secret wing in the Farum Ramroom's feast. With a name like that, I'd want to hide away from society too. I don't have to tell you why, Levi, but we cannot officially intervene. Yeah, the same old bull crap. I'm not going to ask you to do anything, and we never talked. However, off the record, should you happen to dispose of Snarltooth, report your findings to me. I thought you'd never ask. I didn't ask. But you... Oh. Right! Attaboy, now you're getting it. Enclave keeps the ruins locked up for obvious reasons. I'm sure old Lady Griselda will let you in if you ask nicely, though. They're home in the house just south of here. You're supposed to talk to the old lady first, but, Levi and Devin, come to terrorize the neighborhood again? Miss Willingham, I believe we're grown out of that stage by now. Speak for yourself, bub. Cat, that can turn 360 degrees at max speed. Tony Hawk can't best that cat. But to steal stuff that she has in her kitchen, you have to go underground for some reason to get to this area of stuff. Got an iron broadsword right there. Now, an iron broadsword, I believe that's one-handed. I don't think I'm going to be equipping this. You can if you want him to block and have a lot of defense and be more of a, tank. I personally disagree because I think that everyone needs to have somebody who's... Which I went over this in the Skyborn, but I forgot now if I went over it already in this. But just people who are good at magic and strength separately. Don't mix them both. Otherwise, you're not gonna really get very far. Can you believe all this used to be underwater? Viridia's major river deposited all this land from upstream thousands of years. The river gives us life, but now threatens us with huge floods every now and then. Grilled salmon. Keep that in your inventory. I do believe... There's something we're gonna need that for very shortly. Like, oh my god, did you see Cohen has another boyfriend? Like, yeah, one for each day of the week, it seems. Hey, Levi, did you hear that some of the old ruins were discovered in the middle of the tundra up north? Orwin's house. My life is empty without you, Mike. You're my one true love, Jim. I'll never let you go, Dave. Forever yours, Joe. Average day simps over here. Okay. Got a big house. Mr. Ibis. I don't know if his last name is supposed to be pronounced Ibis or Ibis, but it's probably gonna be a mixture of the two. So that increases agility, guard, crit, and evasion. I'm going to be putting this on him because it's not considered heavy armor. Also, build is something that is very important that I need to go over really quick. Wait. So build. You see that down there? It's technically called your weight. Your bulkiness is how you can equip certain weapons and how heavy they are without detrimenting your speed. Speed is a very, very, very good mechanic, as it is in every game. Master Kane is still away on business, Levi. Must be easier work for you nowadays, huh, Rose? Yes, indeed. Oh, little Levi used to be such a bright little boy. Now look at you, a warrior just like your father. 50 coins. An emerald. So, going over emeralds. You can only augment equipment that is not equipped. Just saying, it sucks, I know, but unfortunate as it may be, we're gonna equip that. And that just made his sword a lightning sword for putting an emerald in its socket, which is really weird because, yeah, the emerald is I don't know why, but I always feel like emerald shouldn't be like used for lightning. I wonder if we have enough money now for that thing. Nope, we don't got the money. Okay, this is a tower. You're talking about the crazy dude. We don't want to go to the West Island right now because we don't even really need to. It's not really a place you should go because it's just like one plot of land. It's not too important. Go through here though. There's a rock in the way. Kinda strange. Ah, Levi, I see you finally decided to accept my offer. You must stifle the conclave. You need to prove your dedication. Begin with home elimination to the Cherry Fund. Our service coordinator, the woman in blue, can take care of that for you. Acclimated with the most fundamental books of our founding, Sacred Rai Genesis. Find a copy in Granheim Temple, northwest of Viridia. Next, within Hybridus Cove, is a shrine to the Saint Krian, the third apostle. Make a pilgrimage to the shrine to prove your bravery. Finally, travel to the very top of the Imperial Palace, where the Altar of Judgment, Altar of Eternity rests, and step into the hexagram and be judged by the heavens. It is then that you will be accepted as a coveted disciple of the Conclave. Most initiated, holy disciple. Give 100 to the poor, starving people. Which is very good. And, that's all we can do in the west part of the city, for right now. And since we're utterly broke, let's get one thing out of the way really quick while you're still in town. And I don't want to make 2 episodes in a row, just this town alone, but... Alright, it's not here. It's in the palace. Crap. So we want to get the altar thing of the top of the heavens thing done first, because that's we can do that right now. But the other things on the list, I wouldn't suggest doing right off the bat, because we aren't strong enough to go to that area yet that they talked about, which is the undead zone. And clearing that out, because that can be really hard. And we don't really have the equipment for that yet. So what we're going to want to do is this way, I believe. Now if we were to go up the right, it would lead us to the altar that we need to hit really quick. Oh, right, that's the last thing. Crap. Well, we don't have to do that yet. My memory was a little bit flawed there. So what we're going to want to do first, I believe, is the Lighthouse. And one other thing, and then we can move on story-wise. And that should be it. Maybe. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to the Lighthouse, which is an optional place. You don't have to go there. But we have 2 quests there. And we really good to get those out of the way. Plus that's nice leveling. Also, the world map. You don't have to worry about enemies here. This is the Lighthouse right here. Wait, actually, no. Whoops. That's Hybridus Cove. Sorry about that. We're just going to move down here. mosey our way on over. Also, just in case if you were curious, if you save while you're in this world, you are just as small as you are on the world map, which is kind of weird. Herald Lighthouse. Oh yeah, I didn't change the menu color. Favorite color's green, so probably just gonna be that. So there's a couple ways we can go. First off, gonna take care of these guys. So we don't have any skills for Levi yet, but next time he levels, I'm gonna level up Depth Slash, which is gonna be his first skill and the only skill he can really use. And we're gonna go over why that is later on down the line. It's the only skill he can really use in the first turn of battle anyway. We're gonna go up here first. Enemies also have a dodge rating, which can be kind of awkward. Also, be careful of your MP. Just because it says it's 20 MP, to think of that as 20% off of 100% in the battle. It's not as much as you think it is. Dodged. Just take that guy out. So, threat. Threat is something that gets increased highly if you kill an enemy. Not so much if you, I think I might be going the right way. I'll just go back. So, threat is something that if you injure an enemy but don't kill it, you'll get a threat amount based on the amount of HP that you took off. And that is increased by, I think, 2 times if you kill the enemy. As you can see there, the threat drastically shifted. So, threat threat is very, very important to try to make sure that nobody gets threat that shouldn't have it. Because, like the explanation in the beginning of the game would tell you, is that threat is... Like, say Devin has less HP, but he also has less defense. If he gets hit a bunch, he's of course gonna die. Now, Devin has really awesome evasion, which means he could just evade the attacks and not get any damage anyway, but he's gonna be your main damage dealer, aside from a few others, so, like, he's definitely gonna be having some issues there for, health. And you wanna be as methodical about keeping your health healed, of course, as possible, because you can only hold 20 of each item. And you don't want to constantly leave to get items, but the one good thing in this game and in Skyborn, which I guess we'll be getting more into that in Skyborn in either the next episode or the episode that's coming out at the same time as this one. So, on the 8th, I think? 8th or 9th, something like that. Whenever this is uploaded with Skyborn, you will be able to see what I'm talking about with that in that game and how that works. But generally speaking, for this game, you can, of course, go get the cave node, or the monster node, and then you don't have to worry about enemies for that area, so... If in the off chance that you need to go get, items from a store, you can. Which is really good. Since we leveled and got our items upgraded, these enemies are not really much of a problem. It wouldn't really be much of a problem before then, but it wouldn't be nearly as fast as we're taking him out. Also, he did level up, so... Level Adept Slash... If you don't use a shield, I don't consider this very worth getting right now, because half of it is shield block chance. So what we're gonna do instead... So I don't suggest getting either one of these right now, because they're useless for the early game. Let's see, Vexing Strike is an attack that allows the user to redirect threat to an ally or double threat gained to self. Upgrades increase damage and lower cost. I think I'm just gonna get Taunt for now. Taunt is a very good ability that increases your threat immediately. What we're gonna do for him, though, is increase his critical and his blade damage. Because Devin needs way more of that at the moment. Open these, we get a Crystal Water, which recovers 33% of our MP, Medical Herb, which I believe is 25% of our HP, and some gold. Something I really enjoy is the animations in the fight. You don't usually see a lot of that. Okay, let's go down. Here's the Monster Node Shard. So now we don't gotta worry about enemies anymore, and we can actually... Oh, here's another one. We can actually get stuff effectively. And here's the other one. Mage Blade. Very good equipment item for Devin. Cure plus 50% in his healing. Increases intellect though, and that's helpful. I do not suggest keeping anything on him that upgrades his healing because it's not really worth it. We got 3 Monster Node Shards. We got a lot of gold. Got a Ruby, which adds Fire Element. Hoplite Shield, which adds Defense. Gerard's Record Book, which is what we needed. Unfortunately, I don't suggest wearing this, because look at how much that decreases his strength. You don't want that. At least not right now. Not when there's only 2 of us. I'm gonna put these on Devin. We will be getting to Levi soon, don't worry, but I think in the early game it's very important to make sure that Devin has a lot of skill points, because his skills are awesome. Okay. Let's level... Poison, Silence, Blind. Silence. And... "5% chance to dodge, 10% threat from gains from all actions." That seems nice. Now we don't gotta worry about enemies, so we can freely go about our business, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to find that before we actually searched around a bit. It can just be a little bit relieving, just knowing that you don't have to fight any enemies around while you go search for stuff. It makes 100% a lot easier. The only downside is the less battles you fight, of course, the less strong, or the least amount of strength you're going to be able to gain, but, you know. Up here, get an apprentice's hat. Put that on Devin. Because that will increase his intellect by a lot, and will also increase his evasion by a lot, which is what we really need. And his weight needs to go down as far as possible, so he can have as many turns as possible. Got a Platina coin there, and emeralds. Let's see. Let's take off his Mage Blade real quick. Let's see, what do we want this to be? Do I want Lightning, Fire, or Blind? Now, I have a theory for Blind and other things that have a weapon chance, and we'll be getting to that in a bit. But for right now, I think I'm going to have this as Fire. And I'm going to have his other sword as Lightning. Okay. And we are going to look at our items real quick. Still keep that great grilled salmon. You need salmon. You need it. It's actually for a quest, but we won't be getting that quest right now, but it's very helpful to get that quest item, and you'll have to buy it later. Trust me. I accidentally used it, and then I had to spend like 100 gold, I think, on it. So, by the way, this is where we have to go, I believe. So, ignore that for right now. That is a no-go zone. Wait, actually... Whoa, wait a minute. I may have just given wrong information. This one always confuses me with the stairs a little bit, but I think this is actually where we need to go. See that silver chest? That is what is 100% required. Get that. Well, not required, but you can miss it, and it's painful to miss those. Those are the cards we're going to be collecting. And I think there's 13 in all. A full deck of cards. Kind of deal. Human remains. Note reads, Dearest Corwin, I've waited too long to bring myself to reveal everything to you. I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I have to immortalize my love for you somehow, Corwin. You and I were put on this world for each other, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you, Corwin, and I can't not live without you. Be by my side. Or by my side. Spirit. Turn that on. I don't know what it is with lighthouses and games being bad news. Now we just gotta go down here. This is everything you can get in the lighthouse. Now what we can do is we can go back to that arena really fast and get some of those extra kills in. Or some XP that we may have missed here. Because it gives you a lot of XP. Or we can continue on. Those are your options, really. Because you can't really beat the other area until you get a little bit better armor. And I don't think we have enough gold for that. So, that's 7 gold. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Gonna heal. Gonna save. We got a battle. Medical herb. Miracle herb. Our first tent. 55 gold. And a sapphire. Sapphire adds water element to your attacks. These beginning areas are a little easy, but eventually it's going to get pretty involved with the getting stuff and then doing the story stuff. Okay, here we go. Got a lot of church chests over here. And, you know, Branch of Life revives someone if you need it too, which is great, because revival items are awesome in this game. We're gonna put that sapphire ring right on him, because that increases his intelligence, which we really need. Got 2 miracle herbs. Thank you, faithful Alkalight. You have proven your bravery and diligence by making my pilgrimage. Courage and faith. Okay, that's the first thing we gotta do. The second thing would be, Graham's Temple, and then something else. Actually, wait a minute. We did not put our quests in that we completed. I guess it doesn't matter too much. We can just come back and see them. Because we're not near the part where once you complete it, then you can't do those quests, so we'll just wait. But we are right next to the entrance to the dungeon, and I would like to get some of those done. There is one thing we can do right now, and we can finish that quest up, which rewards us in a weapon, so might want to do that real quick. Try the flame saber. A lot of these enemies, you don't really gotta worry about using any of your magic on because they're really weak. And if you're thinking, yeah, this game's easy, why would you say that hard mode would be hard and ridiculously hard? Well, I tried hard mode and I did die to those enemies, so hard mode is no joke. Essentially, is what I'm saying. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Graham Temple real quick. Saint Serene represents love and compassion. To walk the holy path, we mustn't forget the love of the heavens that saved us. Saint Galzus is courage incarnate. Without valor, all we have is ineptitude. It's a core component of sacrifice and righteous strength. Saint Durai represents divinity and humility. She is a champion of peace, but ruled with ultimate tradition of faith, never falling prey to vanity and pride. May tonight, Saint Landis embodies truth. The truth of the heavens and what we seek within ourselves as we seek justice and peace in the world. You heard the story of the Conclave's founding. Would you like to hear a brief summary? Over 1,000 years ago, our people were overwhelmed by a great closing in of all fronts. The demons in Athos had near omnipotence. Since we lost the apocalyptic world, Xanatus, we desperately tried to retreated to these lands. When trapped in a small temple near where the city of Veridara now stands, a miracle happened to 5 mortal warriors. Alzus the swordsman, Serene the priestess, Landis the mage knight, Durai the paladin, and Rodain the wizard were infused with the essence of heaven, with which they defeated Xanatus and the demon army. Having led the campaign to rebuild our civilization and drive up evil, Saint Durai became the first apostle and the empress of Archelaus. Knight Rodain, having landed the killing blow upon Xanatus, set to wield some of the demon's power, causing him to betray his fellow saints after losing all 3 of her fellow saints. Durai defeated Rodain and banished him to the far east, where the forces of Xanatus come. Saint Durai established theocratic governance that built this empire, but over time, the seat of the emperor and the seat of the Apostle Conclave separated, and as magic and technology rapidly advanced. Jiraiya is blessed with immortality and power beyond our understanding, but Raodain seems to share these traits. We have not seen our goddess for centuries. We believe that she will emerge to lead our empire into a final apocalyptic battle against Rodain and his evil dominion, bringing in an era of eternal peace and enlightenment, with Jiraiya protecting and watching over us. Summary plot. Word. Sandwich. Saint Jiraiya Genesis. That is the next part of that quest, and I will spend the rest of this episode, I guess, finishing up the quest that we already completed. And then in the next episode, we will actually go through the story area. It's just really good to get these things done. Because I like to get things done as soon as it's available. As much as I can, because, you know. The feeling of completion is great. So first things off, we want to give it to this guy. You did it! What would I do without you? Digging ditches somewhere, no doubt. Yeah, that's why I like to call you my friend. As a promise, here's a little something you might enjoy. I was hoping to get a few coins in the market for it, but hey, you deserve it. A little extra coin for your trouble. Hoplite Helm. Legitimate business complete. All party members gain 1 skill point. What are we at now? 1. Okay. I'll save my skill points for a while. Did you see it? The lighthouse lit up? Wait, that was you? And you found a letter from Jarrett? I see. So he didn't abandon me after all. Oh, Jarrett. Eva, you brought a little piece to my life. Here, I have no more use for this. Please accept it from me. Now, isn't that sad? Another skill point. Now, diamond rings increase the health of a party member and a little bit of the defense. So you're going to want to put that on Levi. Save. And let's see what other quests did we complete. We need to go back to the Altar of Eternity. Two of them we can't do, and one we can do. Okay, let's get that reserve. Thank you kindly. Maybe I can get a second chance. Bless you, man. Never too late. The only time it's too late is when you convince yourself it's too late. Okay. First things first. I'm gonna try to see if I have the money for this. Don't want the Hoplite Shield. Or the Iron Edge. Ah, man, I need 50 more coins for that. So I think I'm going to end this episode off and finishing that one quest, and then we're going to be good to go. Right this way. Okay, we go through here. You're judged by the heavens. Your soul is pure and your heart is golden. You are rewarded with the tool of divinity, which represents your convictions. Urge your faith, new disciple. Gain 1 skill point. However... Oh no, right, this is a good weapon, I forgot. Definitely good to pick that up, just saying. Really good to pick that up. And it helps what now? A depth slash, 50% more damage. Oops. Let's just upgrade that right now. And that's it, and let's see. Let's get blind. And there we go. On the next episode of Deadly Sin. We'll be completing one more quest, maybe doing the arena, and then we will be heading off to the actual story portion of the game. See you guys then.